Hello and welcome to Cody and Corbin Have a Podcast, the show where two former roommates talk about a new movie every week. This week on the show, we're talking about a very new movie, maybe the newest movie we've ever talked about on the show, The Batman.
Fear is a tool. But when that light hits the sky, it's not just a call. It's a warning.
I'm your host, Corbin Zavocal, and as always, I'm joined by my caped crusader co-host, Cody Webb.
Sick intro. I wouldn't call myself a caped crusader per se. You know, it's probably pretty subjective, I guess. But yeah, man, no, I'm excited to be here. This is our second time sort of doing a recent release, so I think it'll be fun. And I think it's actually a great movie to talk about. I have a lot of thoughts about it, and I'm sure you do as well. But yeah, excited to be here. How you doing today, man?
Doing well, man. Just a couple days until spring break. That's what I'm hoping for right now. So
I'll be a baby. Jeez.
So I'll just get into why I picked the movie.
Why?
So it was my choice this week.
Pick? I didn't even know this was your pick. I thought we were just doing a movie.
Yeah, it was my pick.
All right, fair enough.
So I chose to do this movie. Obviously, Cody had the pick last week with Uncut Gems, and I decided the Batman is super topical. There's a ton of great things to talk about within this movie. It's a really interesting take on a story we've seen a couple different times. So I decided, why not do the Batman? I'm sure people will be interested to hear our thoughts on a movie that just came out. So I wanted to get into it. That being said, let's go to our initial thoughts.
Good morning, Vietnam!
Cody, hit me.
Oh, I'll hit you. I got a few initial thoughts. First off the bat, just like the overall tone and sort of the take that they went for this movie, I did not expect going in at all. This is basically just ultra realism. The way I view it is, if Batman was a real person in today's age right now, this is likely how it would happen. And that's pretty common throughout the movie. That's how it is for the villains. That's how it is for most of the characters. That's how it is for the Bruce Wayne character. And I didn't expect it at all, which is something I really like. And I think it's a good direction to go, just because we've had, 10 other Batman movies. So, just straight off the bat, I was pleasantly surprised by that. And I think what carries this movie is, there's a couple things. My favorite thing about it is just how it looks, the filmmaking and the cinematography. I think this movie's fucking beautiful. And again, I'm not the film bro over here, so I probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but it's ridiculous how good this movie looks. And yeah, the story, I'll touch on, a bunch of beats later, but I'm generally a fan of this movie. I think it's one of the best Batman movies we've ever seen. And not the best, but it's up there for me. And obviously I've only seen it once, but my initial thoughts are super high. And we'll delve into the stuff I don't like, which there is some stuff too, but I really enjoyed this movie.
I second what you're saying. I did enjoy this movie a lot. I think Batman is a character that we've seen done so well that it's like, how do you follow up some of the greatest comic book movies of all time, and also some bad ones too? But I think it's a new take. It keeps some things the same, but it's refreshing. It, like you said, it's a little bit of a different style. It's grounded. I think Nolan was generally grounded as well in his take. The Bane stuff was supposed to be like a more realistic, but still, Bane probably couldn't happen today. The Ra's al Ghul stuff is, kind of mystical and fantastical. But this is truly a grounded take. You've got a character like the Riddler, who is, reminiscent of the Zodiac killer and in a real life, like serial killer type in this world. So I do think that's really interesting. You talked about the cinematography. I think the look of Gotham City in particular, I just love. going back again, we're probably going to talk about the comparisons to the Dark Knight, but I think the Dark Knight Gotham's cool. It's very Chicago. This I think is a cool mesh of like a couple different stuff. It was shot over in the UK, London, Liverpool, Glasgow, I think. But it's got kind of that like old London feel, but then also like the New York Times Square, which I absolutely love, like with the buildings that look not New York, but the New York Times Square and the way that creates Gotham and just like the noir and the reign of everything. I think Gotham is great. It's the coolest that I think it's been done on screen. And then moving on, something that we'll hit on in the next category a little bit is this is a Batman movie, not really a movie about Bruce Wayne, right? Which is different than what we've seen in other iterations. So it's really focused on, really it's not like two sides of a coin, it's one character. It's the Batman is living in both shoes, where in Nolan's, he was able to switch, and he was the billionaire playboy, and even in like when Keaton was doing it, he was still at the parties with the tuxedo on, smiling away. So I think that's also very interesting.
Yeah, I agree. And I think maybe we'll see more of a Bruce Wayne character in sequels. But like I said, I actually really like that. Just sort of, he is Batman almost 80-90% of the movie, which is so unique, and I think such a good take on it. Another thing I wanted to bring up in initial thoughts, this movie kind of rips off a couple of other decent movies, but I think it might be able to get away with it because I think it's better than those other movies. The obvious ones, the obvious rip-offs, you mentioned it before, Zodiac. I mean, the Riddler, he's basically dressed like the Zodiac killer, and his symbol's also pretty reminiscent of that symbol, and he acts similar.
So is he ripping off the movie Zodiac, or is he ripping off the real life Zodiac killer?
Well, you take your pick, but also, I mean, this is also Seven. I mean, it's the movie Seven in a nutshell, just how it's
his look. His look isn't really reminiscent of what Fincher does in Zodiac for the killer, I would say, but it is reminiscent of like drawings of what people said Zodiac looked like the glasses through the mask is like a thing that's taken directly from that.
Sure, but I mean the way he dresses too, like I don't know. Also,
I mean, yeah, he's just a white dude in all black. I mean, that's killing people. I guess you could.
Well, this is green, it's not black, so
yeah,
big
same
difference.
thing.
But as well, I mean, Paul Dano is playing the exact same character he played in Prisoners, if we're being completely honest here. He just has more lines and laughs more. It's the exact same performance. But actually, I don't know. I think he might be better in Prisoners, but I think the villain as a character is better in this movie. Regardless, whatever you take from the plot of other movies, I don't really think that's relevant if you're better than the original source material. So I give it a pass in that. But yeah, I mean, do you have any other initial thoughts? That was pretty much the majority of mine.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I had as well. We can move on to roll credits.
Roll credits.
I'll get us started here. So I think the main thing I want to talk about is just the title of the movie, The Batman. I think that's really interesting. We were talking about how this isn't really a Bruce Wayne movie. It's about the Batman, and it's like it takes away. It's less about like Batman as like that's his name, but like he is the Batman. In this, like he's like this mysterious figure that people don't really know yet. That's writhing around in Gotham. It's year 2. He hasn't done anything major. He hasn't like saved the day in some huge way, but he's been doing this for a while, and it's kind of been his thing. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I like the title as well, just because, like, sort of what we were talking about earlier, there's really no Bruce Wayne. Like, this is the Batman's movie. The Batman. Kind of just a cool title, could have gone a lot of different ways, but, real strong with adding the to the beginning of it. But regardless, I think just in terms of the story, too, I think it adds an interesting, arc in a sense, because, I mean, the majority of the movie, you don't really hear anybody call him Batman. He doesn't even call himself Batman, really. He calls himself Vengeance. And then obviously the turn at the end where, the terrorist guy calls himself Vengeance. He's like, oh shit, maybe vengeance really isn't the answer here. And it's sort of also like, I'll talk about this later in my favorite part, but him turning into a hero and not really just vengeance. So also an interesting point, just roll credits, I think we talk about in general, is he does say the Batman in the movie. And it's a scene where it's like they're in Riddler's apartment, blah blah blah. And I don't know, the line's like something like he's coming after me, or it's gonna come to an end, and he's like the Batman. So that's kind of cool. I don't know if the Batman is really said any other time in the movie.
Well, all the letters are addressed to the Batman.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. And they probably say it like once or twice with the letters, but I don't count that shit. If you write it out, that doesn't count. It's got to be more, unique in the script. But yeah, that's my take.
Yeah, for sure. I didn't really have a whole lot else for this category. Did you have anything else?
I did have something else more in line with the credits. I don't know if you know this, you probably do. But there was like an end credit little snippet. Do you know about that?
Yeah, I didn't stay. But so I
Same.
I was sitting in the theater and I was like, does this have an end credit scene? Something was like, yes, there's something after him, but they're like 15 minutes long, and we all kind of wanted to leave. I hadn't eaten dinner. It was a 3-hour movie. I didn't really want to sit there for another 10 minutes, to be honest. So then I looked up what it was, and it was like, it says goodbye, and then it like flashes the link.
Yeah. So basically, I'm on the exact same page as you. There's no fucking chance I'm sitting up for the credits. So I went and looked it up online, and yeah, it's just like the Riddler saying goodbye, and then it was the link to the whatever the
El Ratalababa.
Yeah, whatever. But you can like just go and talk to the Riddler, which I think is very, very, very stupid. If you're gonna put something at the end of the credits, make it something cool, not some how many clicks can I get on a website because it's at the end of the Batman. But yeah, DC, get your post credit scenes up to date here, because that's just embarrassing. But yeah, that's everything I got for
I agree with that. Not worth staying. Let's talk stupidest part.
You stupid.
I guess you kind of hit on something that was pretty stupid, so do you want to keep the train rolling?
Sure. I have two main things, and they are major gripes with the movie, which is the reason why it knocks down the score for me a little bit. There's two things in here that I really don't like. First off, I don't know if this is really just my issue, but I really hate that his parents are like corrupt and bad people and everything. For me, it really felt like The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where for some reason, Peter Parker's parents have to be super spies. Oh, for some reason, Bruce Wayne's parents, have to be these corrupt people who worked with mobsters. Dude.
Yeah, but when he's literally like the richest person in the entire city, he's obviously gonna have like
I said,
and it's not. He's a little corrupt, but he's like a good guy in the end. That's the whole point.
Supposedly, that's what Alfred says. But who the fuck can believe Alfred in this movie? But I mean, yeah, maybe it's just my thing, just because it feels so much like that, and we've seen so many other Batman movies where, yeah, his parents are his parents. They don't need to be involved in any other aspect of it. That just gripes me for some reason, and I really, really dislike that. Every time when they were in the projector, I was just checked out of that scene. Like, I just lost interest immediately when they started talking about his parents and everything. But that could just me. I do have another. I'll bounce it over to you though. What do you think is a dumb part in the movie?
So I didn't really have like a big. I have just like a few.
What, I have a few. He's perfect, my guy.
No. I have like a few like nitpicky thing type stuff that I don't like really. Gotcha. So first of all, the whole like drops, the drugs that they like are using, like I think that's stupid. Why do they always have to make up like some weird drug where like people do eye drops and shit? Like, why can't it just be a normal drug? Especially like if you're doing a grounded movie and like, but like the one weird thing you change to make it like un-universe other than like there's a Batman, you're like, oh, there's weird drugs.
That's
I hate that shit.
Yeah, it's like the worst world building ever. It's like, oh, let's just make a weird drug. It's sort of like the one in Looper,
and it's like not explained at all, or like there's no like it has no real consequence other than just being there. Like,
there's no tie into the story at all with it, really. I
No.
I agree with that completely. I forgot about that. You want to keep going? You got another one?
This is I'll talk about this a little bit more later again, but why is this dude so obsessed with that one Nirvana song? Listen,
Good song.
so I get, it is a good song. I like its use early in the movie, but it like comes back 3 times. Like they keep playing it. And it was
Yeah.
in the trailer, and it's the theme song. And I get like Matt Reeves listened to Nirvana and wrote like the entire first half of the movie and was like the main inspiration for this version of Batman is Kurt Cobain, but it's just overused. Like he has a theme that's a score theme. Like let that be the thing that resonates throughout the movie, not this fucking behind.
It's so depressing.
It's
No, I
sad.
agree. It is overplayed, I think. Also the just like main theme, the music is very good, I think. And to play this Nirvana song 3 times, I don't know. You don't like the main theme? That's interesting. But also just pick a different Nirvana song. Like they have multiple good songs, I think.
If you
And
like, I think it'd be cool if the whole movie was like in different like grunge 90s rock band, like do it throughout the whole movie with different songs that apply to different moments, not just that same song.
I agree. And I think that song does fit in the first usage. But when it pops up again, it's sort of like, why is this in here again? But 100% I back that the main theme in this movie is unbelievable. I think it's top tier Batman music, and we've had some of the best Batman music, coming from these movies. So I don't know what you're smoking over there, but this music is very, very good.
Listen, I'm not a huge like music like score in movies. Like I don't pay too much attention to that. It's near the bottom of my list, and like things that I can point out. But I don't like this score, and it stood out to me as I just did not like it. I don't like the Darth Vader of it.
It felt too Darth Vader-y to you?
Yeah, it's like the Imperial March. I mean, it's like clearly referential to that. And I just don't like
I don't know
that for the character.
I'll have to go back and listen to it, but I didn't hear any.
I heard it like I heard it in the theater. Like there's like this. It's more of like a like it's more of a drone. Sorry, I didn't do a good impression of it there, but it's not dun 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 like it's not as hard hitting and bass heavy, but
saying it's slower. It's a
definitely
slower
there.
Darth Vader mark.
And like an organ. Listen, I heard it in the theater, and then I've seen people talking about there's like Spotify like remixes of it with the Imperial March. There's people, I've seen a YouTube video that I watched like looking at details in the movie where they're talking about like the Imperial score. Like I'm not the only person to say this. So
yeah, you're on an island, but
shut
fair
up.
enough.
What else you got?
I'll have to go listen to it again. But yeah,
if you think if it is Star Wars Darth Vader influence, do you like that or not like that?
Well, I don't think it's relevant. What does he have to do with Darth Vader? But I mean, he's not really the villain. He's the hero. So
well, that's what I'm saying. I think it's bad. Like I attribute that to when I see that I feel Darth Vader, and it's like I just don't think it matches the archetypes.
If it reminds you of Darth Vader, I would get why you wouldn't like it. I just didn't get that feeling on first watch, but I'll definitely go revisit it because I did like the score a lot. But yeah, my other main thing that I really don't like about this movie and makes me worried about the sequel, wink wink, why the fuck is the Joker back, dude? I mean, I get that the Joker movie made like $1 billion. It was this massive hit. Just make a sequel to that, dude. Like, how many Jokers have we seen in the past 20 years? It's getting ridiculous. They're running out of good actors to do it. And spoiler alert, I think this guy's garbage from the 30 seconds we got from him. I don't even know. Like,
you know who it is?
They're just laughing. Yeah. Do you know who it is?
Yeah.
Barry Koenig. Yeah, he's in Eternals, dummy.
Keown.
Dunkirk. Yeah, he's in that too.
Yes, I've seen Dunkirk. He's also in The Green Knight.
I thought you said you hadn't seen Dunkirk.
No, I talked about how I didn't like it. I've seen it, but I don't like it.
I mean, generally, I'd say that guy's a pretty good actor, but his one scene I really did not enjoy, and I just don't understand what the need is to bring him into this franchise, because you already have a psycho villain in the Riddler, and then you're going to do the exact same thing in the next movie where it's just going to be, oh, he's outsmarting Batman again. Like that's the entirety of the movie. I mean, it's just going to be the Joker's always one step ahead, just like the Riddler was. I really don't need to see that again, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I mean it's tough because the Joker's been so overused, but I feel like having a Batman without the Joker, I don't know. I don't know if it like I feel like Batman has to have the Joker at some point.
That's fine. Bring him in the third one. If he's in the sequel, I'm so just less excited for it. Like, do something different. Do something interesting. You're in this such a different universe, anyways. You can go any sort of way about it that you want with pretty much any of his rogues gallery. Oh, but fuck it. Let's do the Joker again and do the exact same movie. That just doesn't seem very fun or different or interesting to me at all. I don't know.
All right. I mean, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. I think they could potentially do like don't fully. He's maybe a small part in the second one, and then like he is the main villain in the third one. I don't know. The Joker, the Riddler is kind of just the Joker in this, but a little bit more methodical instead of being just like chaos. I thought his gadgets sucked.
Mm-hmm. What gadgets did he have? He had a smoke bomb. That's about it.
He's got his weird contact lenses.
Those are cool, actually.
I don't like those. I think it's dumb. Like he could do, if you're gonna have contact lenses, I think you could have contact lenses that do cooler shit than just record people and facial recognition and after the fact. I don't know. He's rich, right? Like he could do anything.
Well, supposedly, I don't know. He's run out of money, evidently.
Yeah, that's also true. I don't know
also,
what's the deal with his like company.
I like his grappling hook where he just puts it through people's legs. That's pretty cool.
Well, and then he tried to glide off a building and he hit the L train and like spun out.
What do you think about that like air suit he had? I thought that was kind of weird.
Yeah, it was strange because it ended up just being like a gag of like, oh, he's still inexperienced and like hasn't tried everything out yet.
Yeah. I think that's a cool scene, but especially him flying, but I was just like, oh,
it lasts like 2 seconds and then he doesn't really fly.
Well, he's zooming and then he just smacks. He almost hit like the bridge too, but yeah. His gadgets are not the best in this. So yeah, I do agree with you there. I mean, sort of
suit's cool. Suit's cool, but
yeah, I'm not a big fan of the suit, honestly. I think it's average compared to some of the other ones, but for year 2, I feel like he's really going at this about as slow as possible. Like, what was he doing for 2 years? Just beating up criminals. Nobody's ever challenged him. I don't know. Get your gadgets together, my guy.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't have Morgan Freeman. That's the problem.
True. Morgan Freeman in your ear. I mean, that guy will just whip out anything as well. So I respect it.
Yeah, that's all I got.
All right, fair enough. Let's kick it to favorite part. What you got?
She is very gorgeous to me.
I think the opening's pretty good. Definitely not the best opening to a Batman movie, but it is a solid movie opening with the Riddler. Particularly that part where I don't know, there's kind of you gotta get a little bit of a jump scare there. That's it's terrifying. So I like that. What do you think?
Oh, it's scary. I actually don't even like the opening at all, if I'm being honest. Everything with the Riddler in this movie is absolute mid to me. That was pretty much his main scene for the first 3 hours. So, be what it is, but the visuals are cool and him coming out of the shadows is interesting.
Paul Dano does not get to shine in this role at all. He doesn't get to do much. I'm
not a fan of the character at all, if I'm being honest, but there are a lot of other things. I mean, the movie doesn't focus on him. So, what's his screen time? Half hour tops? A 2.5 hour movie? Not great for the main villain, I don't think. But regardless, I have 3 scenes here. I'm probably going to spew pretty long about them because I do like them each individually. Probably my favorite scene, if I'm being honest. I'm just gonna start with it. It's the fight scene. I don't even know where they're at. They're somewhere, but it's with the guns just spraying at him in the dark. And it just, like I said, this movie's fucking beautiful, dude. This scene, the way it's shot, I think is so creative. You just got him in the dark, and he turns the lights off, and you're like, oh shit. And then they just start spraying, and it's stop, start, stop, start. He's just beating the crap out of dudes. You can't see anything. I love that shit. I think that was easily the part in the movie where I had the biggest smile on my face, just being like, all right, that's actually pretty dope. Yeah, that's an easy pick for me. What do you think about that scene?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I have a little bit more to say about it at a later date, so I'll hold off.
Fair enough. I'll jump straight into my next one, which is the car chase, which we haven't talked about yet. I'd say probably the best, Batmobile chase in a movie we've seen. Got to be up there. Can't think of a better one off the top of my head. Probably just because of how practical it is. I did go and look into the behind the scenes of a little bit because like, did they actually launch a car? Do like a big thing of fire? And obviously there's CGI in there, but they did launch a car, and it's pretty fucking sick. And then also just that leading to another such a cool shot, which was in the trailer, which I'm kind of pissed about, but the upside down shot of the Penguin's view of him just strolling up, I think is so badass, so cool. We haven't mentioned the Penguin actually either, and that's a cool part of the movie. But yeah, that specific shot and just that entire chase scene, I think was really well done.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty sick. The fire behind him and just like the glow of the explosions and everything, and like the night sky of Gotham, like through the streets, is cool. So
100%.
I also really enjoy his like fight through the lounge place where he goes and visits the Penguin for the first time.
The
like when he through the nightclub when he first meets Catwoman. I think that's really sick as well. Like that particular fight sequence, the way he like pushes through all the people, and they're pretty drawn out takes. So I think that's really cool.
I forgot about that. That is also just visually a very cool fight. Do you have another scene? I have one more.
That's all I got. Let's hear it.
All right. We're just jumping to the end here. I mean, it's the ending basically. I mean, there's like probably more movie after it, but the scene where
movies have multiple endings. We've been there. Yeah. We've talked about it.
Obviously. Yeah, it's where he turns into a hero. Sort of the place gets flooded and he's carrying people out, and he's got the whatever it's called, the flame. What's the thing called, Garvin? He's got the flame thing.
Flare. It's a flare.
That's why Corbin's on the show, just for moments like that. He's got the flare. I mean, if this doesn't hit you, right in the gut, I don't know what will. It's literally like the beginning of the movie, I think is so cool, just his turn, because that opening scene with him where he walks out of the shadows and he beats the crap out of the face paint guys, and the guy he saved is laying on the ground and be like, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. Those first 2 years was pure fear that he was just unleashing on the city. And now he's got to become something else, because that's what Gotham needs him at that moment. Catastrophe has hit. I mean, he was out-duked by the Riddler, if we're all being honest here. But, I mean, he's there for the people of Gotham, and he turns into a hero, which I think is, very cool storytelling. And, again, something we really haven't seen in a Batman movie, I don't think, where he's beloved by the people of Gotham. I fucking love that. And that also just the way that scene shot as well, where everybody's following him out of the water. He's carrying people out. The helicopter, chopper scene's cool. But I mean, just the emotional resonance of that, I thought was pretty powerful, and something, again, I didn't expect. If you can keep me off balance with a Batman movie and, throw in a little bit of heart at the end, you're going to win me over pretty easily. So that, just the combination of, the themes and the storytelling, though, I think is very cool.
Yeah, for sure. Let's move on to our next category. Let's talk filmmaking.
We are Full Sail University. We take dreams seriously.
Yes, sir.
Time to go to class. So I've kind of been referencing that I have a lot of previous things we've already talked about that I want to talk about further. And here it is in this category. This movie is very very referential to other films. So I kind of wanted to go through some of those references, some of the things that have been cited as inspiration, and so I just wanted to get into like the behind the scenes of that, or at least what Matt Reeves says is related to this movie. So first one, in Gotham, it's literally always raining pretty much all the
Yeah.
points at night. It's always pouring outside. It's a rainy city, I don't know. And in the movie Seven, David Fincher specifically, Matt Reeves specifically, both of them said we wanted to seem like urban life is being, torn down, and it's dirty and it's wet and it's gross. And that was the choice. It was they were both going to be rainy, and in Seven, it's raining all the time. So that's the first one.
Yeah.
What do you
No,
got?
I just said I really like that about the movie. This is such a grim Gotham because, well, first off, it's always nighttime. That's not grim, but it's literally always raining when they're out doing stuff, and I really like that choice. Yeah.
Then obviously we talked about it, the Riddler, heavily influenced both by the real Zodiac Killer and the way the Zodiac Killer was presented on screen by David Fincher. Again, clear Matt Reeves is a fan of Fincher's work, and this has a lot of that same air and same quality, directorial style, tone-wise, very similar.
100%.
Then you have movies like All the President's Men and Chinatown, which deal with just like this. These are the ones that the director specifically decided, like, oh yeah, like I was thinking about these movies. A lot of times directors will say that, when they were making Civil War, the Russo brothers were like, oh, we really took inspiration from some like, classic spy movies or what, like not Civil War, Winter Soldier, like that. And it's like, this is a Marvel movie. Like how much are you really inspired by this amazing like film? Like, oh, this one was based on Citizen Kane. Like, shut up. It's just mumbo jumbo. But those movies, Chinatown and All the President's Men, it's a big, corrupt city plot. Chinatown specifically, there's city water infrastructure at stake. And there's like a surprise daughter at the end of the movie, Selena Kyle's the surprise daughter of Falcone in this. So it's very similar. And then finally, Star Wars, I got to talk about some more. It's evident in the score. I think it's also very evident in the hallway scene that you're talking about. The cinematographer for this movie is the same guy who shot Rogue One, which obviously contains an iconic hallway scene, not the first one, but a second one, a very cool scene of Darth Vader lit purely by the lightsaber. There's also obviously some cues being taken from that as well. Disagree, Cody?
I mean, sure. I do disagree with that pretty wholeheartedly. I mean, yeah, sure. There's the similarity of they're in a hallway and there's not a ton of light, but
they're shot by the same person.
That's fair. I mean, but like there is light in the Rogue One scene. It's just him coming out of the darkness is cool because he just ignites his lightsaber at the exact moment. But I mean, you can see him like impaling dudes with through the heart and stuff. You really can't see him beating the crap out of anybody. It's pitch black unless they got a gun going off. But yeah, that's true. That probably one of the reasons that guy got hired. He's like, oh, I have a really good idea, and they're like, okay, what have you done before? He's like, oh, pretty much the same thing. So, yeah, I mean, I do buy that they're similar, but that's an interesting point. I would have never, made that connection probably.
What's your filmmaking lesson, Cody?
You know what? I've done my filmmaking piece on this episode. I really didn't. I thought long and hard, but the stuff I mentioned was just like the shots and, the upside down, blah, blah, blah. In general, my filmmaking lesson is,
it's okay because I'm the expert and I'm teaching you, so it's okay. You don't have to bring something every week.
If I bring something in, it's just extra credit at that point. But
a little brown nosing.
My lesson this week is this movie's fucking beautiful, and if you want to, just look at a visually stunning movie, or you want an example of how a movie should be shot, I think this is a glaring and obvious choice. So that's all I got. I can't really, critique anything going on in this movie filmmaking wise because I think it's top tier stuff.
What do you think about the specific production design that they used at Wayne Manor, like the way they built that out and the look and style of Wayne Manor?
I think it's cool. I think it's different just because it's a ridiculously nice house, and
it's like a castle.
Yeah, it's literally
like Gothic old
the Waynes,
Paris.
Yeah, it's literally like the Waynes are the most rich people on earth, which I think is interesting. If he is really going to get recognized like that, just at a, town hall funeral or whatever, people's like, oh shit, that's Bruce Wayne. Like, you need to be famous for something, and
especially when he's like a guy that doesn't go out.
Yeah, exactly. Like if people still know his face, and nobody's seen his ass for 2 years, likely, you should have some money. But I thought it was an interesting choice. Just the house itself obviously is very cool looking, but the production design for that, it had to be insane.
Yeah, the old Gothic style is interesting. I think it feels a little weird and like it's like a little too over the top and out of place in the movie.
Yeah.
Because everything else seems like so like normal, and then it's just like this weird like fantastical like I don't know.
I do kind of.
It's like the thing, like they do a good job of meshing the like London aesthetic to like an American city throughout the rest of the movie within like the actual city of Gotham. But I think here they just like roll too much into like this just feels like old world, like England, not America whatsoever.
Yeah, I do kind
like
of.
I don't know if there's anywhere in the country that really looks like that other than like a cathedral.
Yeah, you're not wrong in anything you're saying. There's just like not too many scenes in the house. I don't think. What is there, like 2, 3 the beginning, and then a couple in the middle. But yeah, it is kind of out of place and sort of like, oh shit, like where the hell are we even at right now? Oh, it's his house. Okay, it's ridiculously nice. But yeah, I do agree.
Let's move on to weird movie details trivia.
Naked grandma.
Naked, huh?
Actually, I have a question regarding Wayne Manor in my trivia.
Nice. How many questions you got?
I got 2. No choices for
3.
either one. So
I don't have any choices for anyone. You want me to kick it off? I got 3, Holmes.
You can go. It's fine.
You're a baby. All right. My first one is related specifically to the Joker himself. What's his name?
Barry Keown.
That's not the question. Shut up. Too easy.
I thought you were asking me what his name was.
I was. The first question is, what was Barry Keoghan's character's name in The Eternals? No options.
Druig.
Oh, wow. This dude knows his Eternals. Correct.
I don't think I know. There's Icarus. Here, let's see if I can do. I think that might. Oh yeah, Cersei. I don't remember what Angelina Jolie's.
Ajax.
Yeah.
That's no Ajax. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's Kumal is Ajax, isn't it?
No, I think that's Salma Hayek is Ajax.
Oh yeah.
What is Angelina Jolie? What's the guy with the
She's Thena.
Thena. What's her friend? I actually really like that guy. The punching guy.
Yeah.
That guy's dope.
Ajax. Kingo is Kumail.
That's Kumail.
Fastos is Brian Tyree Henry. Sprite is Lee McHugh.
Yeah, Sprite.
Gilgamesh. Oh yeah.
Gilgamesh. That guy's my favorite.
Silk.
That's the best Eternal there. He was cut down way too soon. But
Gilgamesh is goated, yeah.
Good shit. 1 for 1. Hit me with yours.
Wayne Manor. There is a pedestal featuring a bust of a famous figure. This is a reference to the original Batman from 1966, where there was a bust of the same person that was used. They would lift up the head, press a button, and open the Batcave.
Okay.
Who is that person featured on the bust?
There's no options here.
I can give you a category.
Give it to me because I have no fucking idea.
Authors.
Is it like
in a broad sense of the term? Maybe writer is better.
Okay, so it's probably like Batman related, I'm guessing.
No. It's a real person.
A writer. But not an author. Interesting.
There's a bust of him in this movie.
F. Scott Fitzgerald.
No.
I don't know. What does that mean? A writer? Is it like a reporter or something?
No. You're thinking like older. Think older.
Too modern. Like Plato or Socrates or somebody.
Not exactly. Too old. Gotta go.
Some theorist from after that. Karl Marx.
He's a playwright.
Da Vinci.
What? Oh, that's
Shakespeare.
That's a dumb moment. You said Da Vinci.
Da Vinci. Shakespeare. William Shakespeare.
Oh my God.
That's not right. Just
Da Vinci.
tell me the fucking answer, dude.
Yes, it's Shakespeare. It's Shakespeare.
Oh, okay.
I'm just still annoyed you said Da Vinci.
Dude, I'm tired. All right, that's the first thing I thought of. And Da Vinci, yeah, Shakespeare. Here, it only took me 20 guesses.
All right.
Also, Shakespeare's a fraud. He didn't write any of that crap.
You don't like Bill?
Not the best, Billy. Yeah, my next question. Oh yeah, this is a fun one. This is a dumb one, but it's a fun one. Okay, yeah, don't get. Basically, he uses that thing at the beginning to kill the mayor. Then it's a callback at the end. So I'm talking about that thing. What is the actual name of the carpet tool used by the Riddler to kill the mayor? Hint. I do have a hint here, but no options. Hint. It is also the name of one of my cousins.
I don't know what it's called. It's the thing that's like shaped like this.
Any guesses on any of my cousins' names?
Like a scooper, like skeet.
Skeet web.
Scrunch, clap. Like it's a person's name, or is it like your cousin has a weird name? Which
No, it's both. It's also just a person's name for some reason.
so okay, but it's like a normal person's name.
Yeah, it's a common name, I'd say.
Joe.
Mama. No.
I have no idea.
You're good. The answer is Tucker. It's a Tucker.
Oh,
My cousin's name is Tucker.
yeah,
You
checks
see-
out.
Yeah, sort of the same thing there, but
Tuck
yeah.
Web. Yeah.
Tuck Web. Yeah, nice try there, buddy. Maybe you'll get the next one. Hit me with the second one.
At one point in the movie, Penguin refers to the Batman as this character. Traditionally, in Batman origin stories, the Wayne family is leaving a theater showing of that very same movie when they can get murdered. Who is this character? And I have a hint if you need it.
I'll probably need it. I mean, in the Dark Knight, in the Batman Begins, they're at some play with a fucking bat or something. Is it fucking Dracula? Is that a bat person?
I'm
He doesn't
pretty
call him
sure.
Dracula, does he? I don't think so.
No.
Give me the hint.
It's also been cited that this character's aesthetic and their look influenced the look of Batman when the writers first made him.
I mean, is this a character who I'm gonna know or not really?
I mean, you'll know the name. I don't know if
Interesting.
you've seen the
The look.
you've probably I maybe you've seen it. I don't know. You've probably seen
What inspired the look of Batman?
it's
Other
a
than
character across multiple medias, I'd say.
Mickey Mouse.
No, it's Zorro.
Oh, he does call him Zorro. You with Zorro here? Yeah. I guess that's fair. He does kind of. Yeah, I can see how that influenced it.
It's the mask and
Of course, I know who Zorro is. Yeah, you can. Yeah.
and that's who traditionally when you see the Waynes leaving the movie theater, it's always like Zorro's playing,
Oh,
or they're
okay.
seeing
In the like coming attractions or whatever, the
yeah,
posters for the movies. Gotcha. That makes sense. I was thinking about the actual play and stuff. But yeah, nice, good question. Stump me again. 0 for 2 this week. Not a good look. I do have one more.
yeah. Let's
and
hear it.
I don't know if you'll get this. Honestly, it's kind of out there. But my question is, what future Batman villain appears on the Riddler's "It's Always Sunny from Philadelphia" wall, where there's a bunch of random shit written down. It's all connected or whatever. But there's actually a one-word, just exclamation, because it has an exclamation at the end.
Hush.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool Easter egg, and if he actually shows up in the next couple movies, I think that'd be dope. Because again, haven't seen him on screen, so try him out. Why not? It's a good villain and everything. But yeah, no, you 2 for 3 this week. I'm impressed. Passing score.
I saw this movie a week ago, so
Well, I saw it like 3 days ago, so it's been a while.
on that note, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we're back. Who can act?
Wow.
Cody, who can act?
First off, I want to say, great commercial reading there from you. Real proud of it. Who can act?
I'm gonna have to
Great
change
question. Yeah, you might have to. It's pretty bad. No, I'm joking. Who can act? I got a couple strong candidates for this, and you could probably pick a few more people, but I won't bore you. My first pick is Zoe Kravitz. I think she's very, very good in this film.
Yes.
I do want to see her in a lot more. I mean, she has to be in the sequel, obviously. But I think she was really the standout for me. I mean, throughout the movie, just her and Rob Pat's relationship. I think the Bat and the Cat was probably the most interesting thing about it. And that last scene on the rooftop where, she turns on the bat signal and she's got the rat up there, and Gordon and Rob Pat are like, what the fuck's going on? Then she just boots his ass off and, takes off. And I love the one-liner as well. I got 9 lives. Thought that was good. But I think just throughout the movie, she's the strongest performance. And my second pick is that guy from the Hunger Games playing Jim Gordon. Just kidding. What's his name? Corbin, tell the people. It's not the guy from Hunger Games, is it?
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah, I thought it was Jeffrey Rush for a while, and then
It's
that's a different guy.
It's the Watcher.
He's the Watcher. Yeah, it's true. He's probably gonna be in some. He's probably gonna be in fucking Doctor Strange. So
He's in the French Dispatch as well.
I think he's in a lot of stuff. I just always think of it as,
Like, he's had a pretty good year, to be honest.
to me, he's always gonna be the electricity guy from the Hunger Games, though. I don't know why, but that's just, that's ingrained in my mind. But he's actually very, very good, I think, as Jim Gordon. And again, a different take on the character, and I think he owns it completely. All of his interactions with Batman and Rob Pat are, again, I think, some of the best stuff in the movie. So, the relationships with Batman that he has with these other characters, I think, is what brings out the best dialogue and the best acting at times. Similar even to Andy Serkis, who I don't think is, phenomenal in this movie, probably because he's in it for 10 minutes, but I think he's actually, decent in acting wise in this movie, just because his interactions with Robert Pattinson are interesting, and they're always delving into the characters deeper and deeper as the movie goes on. And those would be my 2 picks for who can act.
Yeah, I back Zoe Kravitz 100%. I think every scene and every time she's on screen are the best moments in the movie. I know we didn't specifically mention favorite scene, but she is electric on screen. You can't take your eyes off the work she's doing. She's chewing up the scenery. She's playing to all of Pattinson's strengths as well, and they're so good together. So I gotta say Zoe Kravitz is fantastic in this, and I'm very excited for her in the future. In the rest of this franchise, also played Catwoman already in the Lego Batman movie. Did you know that, Cody?
Yes.
Okay, look at that. Little trivia for you there. Little bonus trivia at the end. I will say I think she was a little misused in this movie. I think she was poorly utilized.
I don't know. I think the movie's basically hers at points. I mean,
I don't know. I think the whole Anika's storyline thing and I don't know. That's all she seemed focused on. I don't know.
I mean, wasn't that her girlfriend or whatever? So it's kind of
yeah. The relationship was, they have chemistry, but it was also I'm talking about her and Pattinson. Then too, on top of that, was a little weird, in conjunction, because the chemistry is good, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense story wise.
Fair. I agree with that. Yeah.
So, and I actually liked my boy Barry Keown as Joker. I've been holding this back, but
fuck out of here.
I thought it was pretty good.
Who can act?
Yeah.
No fucking chance.
I like it. I'm not opposed to seeing another Joker. I think people get too worked up about this stuff. It's not the end of the world. Let's see a different take, and it could be fun. And maybe it'll be bad, and then we can make jokes about it. We can talk about it on the podcast and make 20 cents.
Sounds Gucci. We'll plan on that. But I mean, dude, that one scene was ridiculous. He's literally just laughing with the Riddler. Oh, I'll tell you a riddle, Riddler. What's one thing when you have less of them? It's more important. Oh, it's definitely not the Joker. That's not the answer to the fucking riddle. How fucking cliche can you be? And his laugh's not even good. He doesn't look like the fucking Joker. I don't know. His hair's.
We don't even see him.
Hair's fucking terrible. I don't like it at all. I actually despise that part of the movie.
I think he looks pretty comic accurate. The hair.
What do you know about comic accurate? The fuck out of here with that bullshit. But I mean, yeah, sure, they're gonna give us the Joker because it's Batman. But I think that scene is terrible.
You tell me he didn't look like this?
No, he looked like a normal person with, just stupid hair sticking up for no reason. But also, just because it's comic accurate doesn't make it good. That's very, very different things. So Corbin's again showing the audience the posters. I don't know what he's doing, but
I got a comic book at the showing, so I wanted to use that as a chance to end this conversation and move on to who can't act.
That's my opinion.
I
don't like Andy Serkis. He's a terrible Alfred.
It's fair. I don't know why he was cast as Alfred. It really doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's a good actor, but he's a bad cast.
Yeah,
that's my biggest acting gripe would be just his casting is weird.
Again, I mean, he's in it for 10 minutes to be fair as well, and he literally just gets blown up, and then he's fine. An hour later, he doesn't have any scars or anything on him either, which I thought was weird because he literally just got blown up. Yeah, I thought that heart to heart in the hospital was decent acting from him, but again, I don't understand the casting at all. How old is Andy Serkis? 50?
He's 57. He would have been 25, I think. I was looking at it before the movie.
The math is very, very, small in how it makes sense, but sure.
I think technically Robert Pattinson is supposed to be playing a 28-year-old is the whole, because it was supposed to be. So a lot of people have done the math and they're like, if this movie's set in 2022 and then he's 28 and he was 8 when his parents died, then the movie they were probably seeing was Shrek because it was 2002. So he was shot outside of Shrek. So yeah. Robert Pattinson IRL though, I think is 30.
Yeah, he's gotta be older.
He's
Imagine
34.
Being gunned down after seeing Shrek. That is tough. That's really funny though. But yeah, the age thing doesn't make any sense for him, and he's really not great. He's just also not a great actor in general, I think, but he's all right. My who can't act is clearly Paul Dano. First off, he's not bad in this movie. I think he's actually pretty good in this movie. But I don't think you are allowed to get away with playing the exact same role twice. And there's no exception here. He's literally playing the guy from Prisoners, but he just fucking laughs instead of, says nothing. And yeah, he's a psycho in Prisoners.
Isn't he the one that they beat up, or do they beat up the other guy?
No, they beat him up. Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't say anything. Isn't he have a handicap or something?
What does the Riddler say? He doesn't say shit.
Yeah, he just not the same character. It's not the same.
Yes. Oh, it's the exact same. His mannerisms are the exact same. And I don't think you should be allowed to get away with that. Also, Paul Dano, I'm not really sold on him being a great actor anymore. I haven't seen what's the one? Daniel Day-Lewis.
There Will Be Blood.
Yeah, I haven't seen that for a while.
Little Miss Sunshine.
He's in Little Miss Sunshine? See, I don't even know who he's in. He's the kid, evidently. The kid's not that good. He just has one memorable speech at the end. But yeah, I do need to rewatch what is it? Ice Cream movie. What's it called? There Will Be Blood. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me today.
I drink your
milkshake.
I used the sound for the podcast.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did do that. But yeah, Paul Dano, I'm not bought on him being a good actor anymore, if I'm being honest. Do something else other than a psychopath, you psychopath. I don't understand why you would want to do this again. And he's probably coming back for the sequel too. So I'm not excited for that. And count me off the Paul Dano train. But yeah, he's definitely my pick here.
That's tough. He's maybe been a little typecast into this type of role. So I think he is a good actor. But I didn't have it my top or bottom of my list. So other one, Colin Farrell is the Penguin. Why'd we have to listen? I don't know. I guess I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite. I can't really say, oh, why did we have to let Colin Farrell put on a bunch of a fat suit and prosthetics and just have fun, but also be a bad character when I've said that I like it when other people do the same thing. So I can't say that I hate that, but I just think, why Colin Farrell? I don't know. I like Colin Farrell, and I just don't think he's good in this.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I thought, looking at some of the reviews and some of the stuff online, I think the general consensus is that Colin Farrell was good as the Penguin. And
yeah, I think I don't like him as the character either, I think.
Yeah, I agree with you, honestly. I thought in the movie he was just kind of there, and I kind of forgot at times it was Colin Farrell, and sometimes that's a good thing, but sometimes at the same time it's like what is the Penguin's point in this movie? I thought the other guy, John Turturro, outshone him by a million. I thought John Turturro was very good, and that's the guy from Transformers who's out acting me at this. I mean, yeah,
Ooh.
I agree, and like he's getting a spinoff, I believe, isn't he? The Penguin.
Yeah, they're doing like 3 spinoffs for the show, but yeah, they're I do believe he is getting his own spinoff.
I mean, fair enough. I hope he's a more interesting character in that, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, he didn't even have Colin Farrell's voice either. It was just some different guy who I didn't know just playing the Penguin, which is all good, but I really wasn't blown away by it, which seemed to be not the general consensus.
They should have made the Penguin Irish.
Irish sack of potatoes. I agree. Cast Conan O'Brien.
Or they could just cast Colin Farrell, who is Irish,
and let him be Irish. Fair enough. I did also have one more quick shout out.
Let's hear it.
Just for acting. But do you know the twins actor? The twins, the bodyguards in the movie? Do you know that guy?
No, who is it?
You know what I'm talking about? I'm just throwing
I know who you're referencing, but I don't know who they
the twins,
are.
yeah. So we're going back to trivia here. So that guy, well, I mean, they are twins, obviously, but one of them, I don't know which one. He was in the episode of The Office. Do you know which episode he was in?
Can I look up a picture of him?
Yeah, because when I saw him in the movie, I was like, I've seen this guy somewhere. And I looked at his eye.
Do you know his name?
No, just look up twins from the Batman. But when I saw him, I was like, I know him somewhere. And I went up to his IMDb before we were recording. And I was like, I know him from somewhere, but I don't think I've seen any of this crap. And I scrolled down a little bit farther, and in big bold letters, it said The Office. And I said, yep, that's what he's from. He's from a 5-minute segment from one episode. And I think he's hilarious. Do you have any idea?
No.
It's he's an intern. He's in the intern episode where he's not Jackie Chan. He's the other guy. He's not the girl. But I think that's so funny that guy's just a twin and he's in some random Batman movie playing a bodyguard. But some more fun facts there for that guy. Can act though. Twins are great in this movie. I back him 100%.
For sure.
Cast that guy as the Riddler instead, honestly. But yeah, that's just me.
I don't know about that. The recast.
You're fired. You're fired. You're fired.
It's our final category before we get to our rating. I'll hit you with the first one. You ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
Just let David Fincher make this movie.
I kind of agree. I mean, why the fuck not, dude? What has Matt Reeves done to deserve the Batman movie, honestly?
I mean, I guess we're just picking between old white dudes at this point, so I don't know if it really matters. But listen, I do like David Fincher a lot, but this is essentially a David Fincher ripoff between Zodiac and Seven. It's a 3-hour fucking long movie, gritty, grounded.
2.5.
It's 256.
Yeah, with credits, it's like 240.
246. Oh, 2.5. 245. Shut up.
240 is closer to 2.5. You goon.
Now, in the past, it has been, David Fincher said, he would do a superhero movie if he had complete creative control and could go any direction he wanted. I don't know if Matt Reeves had that, but I mean, like, I don't get it. Like, what do you have to lose? Like, let David Fincher, like, make the movie he wants to make. I feel like if it's a Batman movie, it's going to probably do pretty well. And it's probably going to be critically praised as well. At one point, he was going to do a Spider-Man movie. Well, actually, at 2 different points. Before it was Raimi, it was maybe going to be him, and then that didn't work out. And then before they went to the Mark Webb, Andrew Garfield, there was again another, maybe it'll be him, and then it didn't happen. So just let David Fincher make a superhero movie, and if he's going to make one, it should be something like the Batman or the Punisher or Daredevil or something like that. Maybe not Daredevil, but like something grounded, street level, but still like in that world.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, obviously this is pretty much a 7 and, whatever the other one is, Jonah.
Which to be fair, if Fincher made this, it would probably be more unique because I don't think he's that derivative of himself.
Right. That's what I was gonna say. He probably just didn't want to make the same movies again. So I understand why he wouldn't want to go after a sort of project like this as well in this stage of his career. But I mean, if you're gonna rip him off, you might as well just be like, hey, you just want to make this movie because we're gonna make it anyways. But they probably didn't give him that option. But I do.
Do you know who was gonna direct this movie before Matt Reeves?
Ben Affleck. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been interesting. I think I would have liked to seen a Ben Affleck directed Ben Affleck Batman movie. So, in a different universe, we might have gotten that, but I'm happy with what we got from this too. So I can't really complain.
For sure.
All right, my recast. I just have one, and I am getting rid of Paul Dano because why not? Yeah, I sort of want. I mean, this is more Joker-esque of a character, or at least the Dark Knight Joker. A less crazy and a bit more calculated villain who is not just a sociopath online with, gun propaganda or whatever. So I want somebody who can, I think Paul Dano can bring that, but he didn't. So we're swapping them out. I have two names here. One of them's probably a good choice. The other one, probably not, but I think it'd be good. How about Riz Ahmed? Why is this guy not getting better roles? I mean, the Sound of Metal, I think, is a phenomenal pick, and I think he should be getting more prominent roles, antagonist or protagonist. I don't care. I just want to see him in movies. But another one, which I don't think you'll like at all, is Dane DeHaan. What is Dane DeHaan doing with his life right now? I think he can be a good villain, as we've seen in Chronicle. And, a little bit, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, not so much. But, he's more developed as an actor, I'm assuming. He's a little bit more mature. And if you give him a role he can really, sink his teeth into, I think this would have been a great chance to give a guy a second chance in the comic book world. And I think he could have blown some socks off and actually played an interesting villain. So if I had the choice, I'd probably throw it to Dane, but Riz is probably the more, Hollywood choice in this stage of both of their careers. Yeah.
Well, Dane DeHaan's busy hanging out with Christopher Nolan filming Oppenheimer. So,
well, yeah, but what's his role in that? There's about 30 named actors in that movie, so I don't buy much from that.
Cillian Murphy, Kenneth Branagh, Florence Pugh, Emily Blunt, Jack Quaid, Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, Josh Hartnett, Rami Malek, Dane DeHaan, Jason Clarke, David Duchovny, and that's about Benny Safdie. Benny Safdie.
Oh yeah, Benny Safdie, good actor.
Alden Ehrenreich, freaking Han Solo's in this movie.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, that's about 20 right there you just named. So I'm sure he's gonna have a lot of screen time. But I mean, hey, it's Dane DeHaan, so I'm here for it. But maybe he'll be the villain. Maybe he'll be. Who's gonna be the villain of the Oppenheimer movie? If it's not Oppenheimer, though.
Well, I would hope it's Oppenheimer. I think at the end of the day, but maybe Hitler. I don't know.
Maybe Dane DeHaan's Hitler. That'd be kind of cool.
Do you think Oppenheimer is like a sequel to The Kingsman?
I fucking hope not. What's his face? That guy from Guardians of the Galaxy's got to be in it. Blood Diamond.
Oh, that guy, the NBA 2K guy.
Yeah, what's his name? I really like that.
I don't know how to I don't know what it is.
I know it, but I don't remember it. Good actor, that guy though. He should be in every movie, honestly. But he's also snubbed for Blood Diamond.
Djimon Hounsou?
Yeah, Djimon Hounsou. There it is. Yeah.
Djimon Hounsou.
Djimon Hounsou. Good actor. Screw it. I want him as a Riddler. All right, I take it back. Djimon Hounsou, you're my Riddler.
I don't know where that came from. Here's a one for you. It should have been Kurt Cobain, man. They should just cast Kurt Cobain in this movie and let him play Batman.
Too soon, bro. Too soon.
Too soon?
Yeah.
Hey, right. It's accurate though. He could have done it. He could have been Batman.
I mean, not to sound like super disrespectful, but if he was still alive, I mean, like maybe that would be a choice. Who knows where Kurt Cobain's career?
Well, he'd be a little older. He'd probably be too old for it, but
he could play Alfred maybe.
But in the 90s, let him play like at the height of his powers. They should have made the Batman movie with Kurt Cobain when Matt Reeves was just a youngin. should have come
Dude,
out and
let him do the soundtrack. Oh man, that would make a lot of money.
rest in peace.
All right, but
You got some more?
no, that was my only recast. I think this cast is pretty solid. And
All right. Jonah Hill, the Penguin.
well, he was originally cast, so
I know, and I want it.
that's the creative differences, which fucking sucks because that would have been awesome. But
Give it back. Give us the Penguin.
imagine Jonah Hill as the Penguin, dude. That is literally the perfect casting. You cannot think of anybody better other than Jonah Hill, I think. Like that's literally. I'm pissed we didn't get to see that, honestly. But that's it. I'm a big Jonah Hill guy too, but I'm actually mad about that.
Yeah, for sure. I think it would have been so sick. I think Jonah Hill, especially like in the last few years, has become someone that I really appreciate just as like a creative and a person. And it would have been I like
too.
What'd you say?
He fits so perfectly with the young cast. Like Colin Farrell is kind of in here. Like what is he, like fourth billing? You got Zoe Kravitz, you got Rob Pat, you got Paul Dano. Give me a young mobster, Jonah motherfucking Hill as the Penguin. That's perfect. And no, let's throw in 60-year-old makeup, Colin Farrell. I don't know.
Yeah,
Stupid.
for sure.
Stupid.
You want to hear some people that also auditioned, screen tested for Catwoman?
Yeah.
Isa Gonzalez, talked about her last week from Baby Driver.
Oh yeah, I still don't know her name.
She apparently screen tested.
Nice.
Ana de Armas.
Big fan.
Zoe Kravitz is great, but man, that could have been really really good. Hannah John Kamen, don't know who that is.
Who?
Nathalie Emmanuel.
Nope.
Alicia Vikander.
I know that is.
Yeah, she's in The Green Knight. Ella Belinsky.
Nope.
No idea. And then finally, Zazie Beetz.
Yeah.
Turned down due to scheduling differences, apparently.
Really?
Atlanta had to shoot Atlanta. Obviously was previously in the Joker movie, but
Also Deadpool 2.
and Deadpool 2. Yeah.
She would have been good. I would have liked to see that as well. I like Zazie.
And last one, let's let Ludwig Göransson do the score. Fuck you, Michael Giacchino.
Dude, you have beef with the music. Who's your guy you're picking? What else has he scored? What, Interstellar?
He did Tenet, hand selected by Hans Zimmer to take over for him because Hans Zimmer was off doing Dune.
Yeah. Why not?
He did all like he started like doing like Community, like the original music for that, and then like worked with Donald Glover for multiple years and produced all of his albums. He did all the Mandalorian music, renewed the score, and like created a new musical atmosphere for the Star Wars world and the Mandalorian. So I think he is a fantastic composer. He also did the music for Black Panther.
All right, that's good music. Well, why is that not your opener?
This is what he did. He produced and produced the music on all of Childish Gambino's mixtapes and met when he was doing Community. He
did Black Panther. That's good.
He did Black Panther. He did Community. He did Creed. He did the score for the first Creed movie.
Yeah.
He worked heavily on like This Is America, Childish Gambino. He did New Girl for 146 episodes. The music for that. He did Venom.
It's just some sitcom, bro.
He did Creed 2.
Choice. The more you talk, the less.
And he did The Mandalorian, which I think is the most impressive.
Okay. He did The Mandalorian.
Of it all.
He did Childish Gambino.
And he also did Boba Fett and Turning Red, the new Pixar movie, as well as he's doing Oppenheimer with Nolan, terrible. And he did Tenet, and he's doing the new Black Panther movie as well. Nice. This is my pick.
Did you see the trailer for that Turning Red? I thought it looked like shit.
Yeah, it's about puberty. I don't know. There is a reason they did send it straight to Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's like a super kiddie Pixar. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a movie made for children, Cody. So I don't know. You can't get too mad.
Oh, I'm pissed. No.
It's like being like, oh, the Boss Baby is like a disgrace to society. I mean, you're not the target audience.
I would never say that. That's a great movie.
Okay. Sadly, that's the. Do you have any final thoughts on the Batman before we move on to our rating?
I don't. I think we covered most of it. Just solid overall movie, and I think I will revisit it in theaters. Just I think I was just caught off guard so much the first time as well. I might have missed some stuff, so I do want to check it out again.
All right, let's hit it. Rating.
You're gonna look at me and you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong? Am I wrong?
Yeah,
I'll go first.
I'm
Nope.
sure you'll be lower. Oh, you want to go first? Go for it. I think yours will probably be lower. So
I was gonna say 58 out of 69 for me.
Wow,
So
that's very high for you. Where's that rank for you? It's got to be top 5.
oh, that's not that high for me. I have plenty of other things that are above it.
How many do you have in the 60s? Like 2?
I have quite a few movies that are above it. Let me pull up my full list here. I have one. It is currently ranked.
5th.
Oh, I didn't rank it. Shoot.
So you ranked it 58.
It's like 7th.
Fair. I mean, how many movies have we done? Like 50? Probably not. Actually,
No. 29. This is technically 29. I have one ranked that we haven't gotten a chance to talk about yet, but
okay. Same. Yes. That's a very good rating for you. I'm very surprised. My rating is going to be a 63 out of 69.
wow. Now
Yeah.
that's a high rating.
Not that high. That's
Princess
probably-
Bride, even with the Princess Bride.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah, like I said, I'm super high on this movie. I do have a couple, things I don't like about it, but man, overall, I mean, this is one of the best things I've seen in theaters for a good amount of time. So I'll tell you what, man, I feel like, I don't know. This movie, it's gotten some interesting reception. I feel like it's either people really like it or they really don't. And like, I get why some people don't like it, but at the same time, like, if you don't like it, I really don't understand, I'm high on it. That's all I can
Well
really
said.
say.
Well said.
Also, I mean, we didn't even talk about Robert Pattinson at all really in this episode. Mostly because he doesn't talk. So,
His eyes, though, he's menacing.
He's menacing, and I really enjoy just the directorial style of the Batman, how he's portrayed in this movie. And like I said, I'm gonna go see it again. So yeah, big fan. The Batman 63.
Did you know that Matt Reeves actually specifically wrote this entire movie for Robert Pattinson?
I did know that, yeah. And fair enough. I think he's the perfect choice for this sort of iteration as the ultimate grunge and Debbie Downer Bruce Wayne. I mean, who better than Rob Pat? I think he plays Mopey pretty well. So I back that casting
For sure. This movie is it's made a decent chunk of money, $128 million opening weekend. Not as near as big as the Spider-Man No Way Home opening, but it has been the second biggest opening weekend since the pandemic really started 2 years ago. So
good for movie making, man.
Good for movies. Well, good for comic book movies. I don't know if it's good for all movies, but
that's about all that matters.
And then I guess something we can talk about with that. Did you see that they were charging more money for this movie in AMC theaters?
I did. And I didn't. Oh no, I didn't go to an AMC. My ticket actually was pretty cheap. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, that's fucking bullshit. I'm sorry. It's understandable because basically the comic book genre has a monopoly on movies.
It's like you're paying a tax so that other movies can exist.
100%. And I'm okay with it. Like, I will still spend the money to go watch movies, but I think others won't. I think others will be like, well, I might as well just wait a few more months and it'll be on Disney Plus or it'll be on HBO Max. And I think the movie theaters are sort of playing a very dangerous game at this point where that could backfire pretty easily and you could be out of business just like that and everything will just go straight streaming. So I don't really agree with just the whole marketing strategy of it. And, I will still pay for it because I'm a noob and I just really like comic book movies, but I don't know, man. The public, they get pissed off at the most random stuff. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a massive outrage when, Avengers 10 is, $50 now. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This isn't really a kid's movie, but that's parents don't a family of 4 isn't gonna pay a shit ton of money to go see a movie. It's just not feasible. I will say, if you're like a really dedicated moviegoer, then like you can just get like the AMC A list or whatever, pay like $20 and get unlimited movies. Like if that's your thing, then there's ways to make it happen still. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's the way the business, it might fail miserably, but I think at the end of the day, it's probably what needs to happen. So it's unfortunate. Let's move on to, we have a podgorithm. Let me grab the Blockbuster game. Cody, vamp for me.
Podgorithm, if you're not aware of this new category, it's a new one for the third season of KHAP. Stay capping, hashtag stay capping. But yeah, basically we have this game that we used to play with our friends, and it has a bunch of cards with movies on it. So we're gonna pull one randomly and vamp on it for about a minute, just like I'm doing now. So yeah, we've had some fun in the past. Hopefully we get a good movie, and I'll roast Corbin a little bit in between. So that's also normal.
All right, here we go. Pulp Fiction.
Oh,
I went first last time, so it's you.
how much time do I have?
It's 30 seconds, but I
30
think we might need to extend it to like a minute. So
Okay.
just go.
It just depends on how much we have to say about it. But
Yeah.
oh man, Pulp Fiction. It's an all-time classic for me. I mean, it doesn't get much better. I love the storytelling style as well, where it's not all in chronological, which is a Tarantino and a Nolan classic. But anything which fucks with time, I'm a big fan of. I mean, the performances. It brought John Travolta out of the ashes. Such iconic lines. You got Jules, saying the prayers before he kills dudes. Love it. You got the one weird thing about it is that big guy, the guy who plays what's his face, that terrible Daredevil movie. They kind of get like gagged and like hit the balls at the end. That's kind of weird, but everything else I'm a big fan of.
The Gimp
Uma
stuff.
Thurman.
Bruce
What's
Willis and the Gimp.
Yeah, that's strange. Also, Bruce Willis actually tries in it, so that's fun. Uma Thurman dancing. Just Uma Thurman existing in general, big fan of. And yeah, I mean, so many iconic scenes. You can go front to back. Tim Roth, the opening I love as well. But
All right, stop. That's time. That's a minute.
no, I can talk about it all fucking day. Corbin, go.
Pulp Fiction, toxic film for people to like. It's a red flag film. No, I do like Pulp Fiction a ton, obviously. It's actually not my favorite Tarantino movie from the 90s. I appreciate Reservoir Dogs before. I think I've shared that take on this podcast at other points. But I think it's definitely, it's cool. It pays homage to so many other things. The dialogue in it is, I think, it's so reminiscent of like what set Tarantino apart in the early 90s, of like this just like weird out there, like super conversational, not plot or story driven dialogue that's still interesting and engaging, whether it's Jules and Travolta's character, I can't remember, Vega, sitting in the car talking about, what do they call a quarter pounder with cheese in Paris? Oh, it's a Royale with cheese, like stuff like that, that I think really set like his early style and what made him so loved by moviegoers early on. So yeah, Pulp Fiction, good flick, and the adrenaline scene, fantastic stuff. Shot in reverse.
Stabs that bitch. See ya. Good movie.
Finally, recommendations.
I drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
What have you been into, Cody? What should the people check out?
Yeah, I got a couple rocks. First off, check this movie out. Good one. But if you're just talking TV wise, I have some recs. Obviously, still watching Game of Thrones. Got through season 4, which was a fun one. I was a fan of. They sort of went away from their formula and drastically changed some of the characters and everything. Littlefinger, big fan of that guy. Not sure about him and Sansa, but I'm a big fan of the character. I'm saying not what he actually does a lot in the show, murdering and such. But yeah, the trial of Tyrion, that was fun. Fucking what's his face and what's her face, everybody together. Jon Snow's still alive. I thought he was fucking gonzo because I'm pretty sure he's gonna die. And also Corbin, rip Pedro Pascal, dude. Oh my god.
He's not good with the spear, dude.
He's actually decent, but he fucked up and got his head popped like a grape. So that was
It's It's a great
Yeah.
scene right there.
Obviously, rec Game of Thrones still. I do have a couple other ones as well. New season of Picard started. I don't even know if anybody's familiar with the show, but it's a Star Trek show, and Patrick Stewart.
My mom's a fan.
Yeah, so is mine. That's the main reason I'm watching it. But yeah, season 1 was up and down. The main plot with the fucking Romulan, the twins, but they're brother sister, but they're not. It's fucking terrible. But the other stuff with like the Next Generation cast, where they bring back growing the beard man himself, Jonathan Frakes, it's actually pretty good. So if they keep it more, it looks like they're going like more Borg related, which is cool because Seven of Nine is in it. She's a very interesting character. But I mean, the acting's bad, the script's bad, so who knows? But episode 1 came out. It's all right. It's all right. But my big recommendation this week, which I've been building up to, hey Corbin, you know what comes out this week? Motherfucking Survivor's back, baby. Season 42. This cast looks interesting. There's no real theme, which I like. But this cast, it looks like the least attractive cast I've ever seen. Which, in my sense,
Indiana person as well.
Really, I didn't know that. I didn't.
Noblesville mom.
The moms never do well. But no offense to moms. Moms are awesome, but no moms are listening, anyways. Survivor, man, it's fucking back. You know, finally, after all these pandemic years, we're getting Survivor, and I'm hyped for it. Corbin, give me your Rex.
Again, been super busy. Very excited for my break next week. Definitely gonna be watching lots of movies over spring break, in the car, traveling. My Cousin Vinny is the film that I did watch with Mina, though. You ever seen it?
Yeah, Marissa Tomei, little Pesci action.
Amazing Tomei performance. That she makes that movie. I think like the movie as a whole is okay, but like she is incredible, and no wonder she won an Oscar for it. So,
yeah.
You know, Pesci's all right. He's a weirdo. Ralph Macchio, he's Karate Boy ain't doing much. That's all I gotta say. But there's a lot of Dutch angles in the film, which is strange. You familiar with the Dutch? It's like
I do know the Dutch. Yeah,
it's looking like Thor. It's looking like Kenneth Branagh's Thor out here. It's a little strange. I don't know what's going on. So
yeah.
That was my main watch. Next week we're gonna be talking some '90s movies. So if you're out there listening, catch up, get in on the '90s movies so you can be prepared for the films we're gonna be talking about. I know I'm gonna be watching a few over the next couple of days to prepare. So that's my main recommendation.
Junior's on it, right? Of course.
Yeah. Liam, JD, we're having a big draft. We're going 5 deep.
Yeah, Liam's back too.
Every draft we're gonna get one bigger.
Right. Liam should have come on the show, again, a long time ago. He was a great guest. Junior hasn't been back for a reason. And we got a new one as well. So, mix it all in all the different angles, but
it's gonna be our biggest pod yet. And it's also a special celebration. So
it is. And also, I have won the past 2 movie drafts, so I might just throw just so somebody else feels pretty good about themselves. But if I go 3 for 3, it's pretty bad. But
I got to keep adding people until I can win one, or at least not get last place.
Fair enough. But it'll definitely be a fun one. The 90s was a great era, and I'm excited for the draft. It should be a good episode.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Thanks for sticking with us. Cody, any final words for the people?
I got a couple. Stay captain.
I am vengeance.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.